In this video lecture, we will be learning about what is home directory, how to use that home directory, how to save the files. Again, very important concepts. So, for to understand the home directory, we will try to log in as root user, VPN user, and U1. Since we do not have the U1 user, so first of all, as a root user, we are going to create the U1 user. Later on, we will be going into great detail how to create users in great depth. But for this lecture, we will be using simple commands to create the user U1. Then we will log in as a root user, VPN user, and U1 user from different terminal. And as a all these users, we are going to run the command pwd, and we will observe the output, and we will draw some important conclusions. So let us go to our virtual machine. So I will log in as root user. First of all, I'm just going to create one user. The command for creating the user is user_add. Which user we want to create? U1. I have to give the password with the password command. So I'm saying please give the password to U1. Just remember the spelling, not full password, passwd. I'm just going to give one password. It will give some error or that key password is palindrome. Just re-enter that password. So what message it is giving? All authentication token updated successfully. That means we were successful in creating the user. So I will clear this screen with clear command, or you can press Ctrl+L key. Now I have logged in as a root user. I will go to the second terminal. I will log in as a VPN user. On third terminal, I will log in as a U1 user. With who command we can verify. That means root is setting on TTY1, VPN is setting on TTY2. Now we are going to run this command pwd. What it is showing? /home/U1. Now we will go to the VPN user. Again I am going to run this command. You can see this is common home directory. That means you can, if you have to compare it with Windows, this is your system root. This could be equivalent to your C drive. In the case of Windows, there is always one user directory is there. And if we are working on Windows as a VPN user, in user that will be VPN. Same way. / is your system root, most important directory. On that, one home directory is there. On that home directory, for VPN, when we are creating the user, automatically one directory will get created, VPN. And if it is U1 user, what will happen? Home U1. Suppose if I am going to create one another user, suppose the name of the user is Anantika. So what will be the directory? That will be /home/Anantika. That means by observing the output, we can deduct what will be the Linux behave, how when we are going to create, what will be the default directory. Now this is called your home directory. When the user is going to create the file, where they will get saved, they will get saved in their home directory. U1's file will get saved in home U1, and in the case of VPN, that will get saved in the home VPN. Now I will clear the screen. Now we will try to create the file. Now there is another method of creating the file. Now I'm saying hello. Where it will get display the output will get displayed to the screen. Now I'm saying please redirect the output through the file1. Now what will happen? Your file will get created. This is also one another way of creating the files. Now we are in our home directory. What I am going to do, I will move one step back. I will go to my parent directory. Now where I am. Now I want to see whether I am able to create the files here or not. That means again we are going to create the file, but we are not creating the file on the home directory. It is outside the home directory. We will see whether this will be allowed. No, this is not allowed. VPN user can create his file only on home VPN directory. To understand further, I will further move one step back. Now what will happen? We are in system root. Again, if I am going to try to create the file, no. That means the user can create the file only in his or her home directory. I will move back to home directory. When you are running the simple cd command, it is always going to take you to your home. So a user can only create the file in his or her home directory. Now we want to observe the root. So where is root? That is in terminal tty1 min control alt F1. I will move to that terminal. Now here what I am going to do when I am running, that means for root user different home directory is there /root. That means all the users will be in /home and root will be given. To understand it compare it with the real life, suppose in a college, principal have got one separate room, but the students have got some common room is there where all the student will be sitting. But for the principal, the room is different. So in this case also, this is the root home directory. Now, if the root has to create the file, again, what we can do? Echo hello and file 1. It is going to create the file. We can move back where we are. Yes. Can we create the file? Yes. But I'm just going to remove the file. In later video, we will go into greater details about the remove command. Can it enter into the home directory? Yes, because it is root. Can the root user create the file there? Yes, because root user is the administrator for the system. It is the boss of the system. That root user can do anything. So there is no restriction on the root user. That root user can go to anywhere. Even that user can go to VPN's home. cd command. That means there is a difference between the root user. There are two types of users in any operating system. One will be all powerful user. In the case of Linux, it is root user. And there will be normal users like VPN U1. In the case of Windows operating system, administrator is the main user. In the case of Linux or Unix, it is the root user. Now another thing. Now we are here. I'm moving one step back. And if I'm going to run the lsl command, what it is showing? It is showing me my home directory also, VPN plus U1. Now, if I'm going to run the command pw, now I will try to enter into. In real life also, you cannot enter into anybody's home without the permissions. So in the case of Linux, it is very permission oriented. That means VPN user can only create the files, only work in home VPN directory. In the case of U1 user, that user can work only on home U1 directory. So always remember this when we are using. So to again summarize the things, that means VPN user will be having the directory home VPN, U1 user will be having the directory that is called the home directory. And when we are creating any normal user, the home directory will be home plus the name of the user. That means if we are creating the user Anantika, home directory will be home Anantika will get created. In the case of root, the home directory will be /root. That is normal. All users will have their home directory underneath home directory. There are various advantages. Advantage of having this structure is that when we want to take the backup of users, we can take the backup of home directory. If we are going to take the backup of home directory, all the backup of all the users will be taken. Another advantage is when we are implementing the disk quotas. That means we are placing the limit on the size and number of files and user create. So where we can put the quota, we can put the quota on home directory. And if we are going to put the quota on or implement the quota on home directory, so it will get implemented on all the users. Users have got separate root directory in which no other user can use. We will go into that also. Again, that is the how to create the files, then move back and forward. So another thing that I want to stress. Now this is when we want to go to that VPN user want to go into the rules. No, that cannot happen. So always remember, Linux is very concerned about the permissions where the user can work or can. So the home directory is where the user can save the files.